It's Tuesday, it's English, it's conjunction time. I hope you're ready, Year 4. We're going to delve straight into this lesson. So we are going to really look once again at those exciting conjunctions within our writing. We're doing this because it's a real key area for us to be focusing on in Year 4, and it's something that I know all of you can do. We've just got to keep on practicing on it, so do not worry about that. So today we're going to introduce just 4 conjunctions to you that we're going to look at. We're going to look at how they're similar in meaning to other conjunctions. We're going to show you how these can be replaced in sentences and some of the things you might need to tweak. And then we're going to replace the boring conjunction game. Love a good game, love a good conjunction. They come together, it makes for a fun activity. And then you're going to use some of these conjunctions in your sentences. So without further ado, let's jump straight in. So conjunctions. Hopefully, you have reminded yourself that conjunctions are connecting words. They bring things together like that. So you might start a sentence with a main clause by saying the man is full. Okay, that can make sense on its own. But subordinating clauses are there in sentences to add extra information. He ate all his dinner. Conjunctions do a wonderful thing. They bring it all together. They bring 2 parts of the sentence together with a simple word that helps you provide that extra information. So they are used to connect. I keep doing that because that's me connecting my fingers. That's pretty much what conjunctions are doing with sentences. The man was full because he ate all his dinner. That's your main clause. The conjunction is the bit that brings it all together. The subordinating clause provides you the extra information. We could know that the man was full. We don't necessarily need to know anything else, but we can just provide that extra bit of information, add a bit more clarity, make it slightly more interesting by adding that subordinate clause. You need to have words like this, or demonstrated by Rubber. Let's show that. Words like this. Thank you, Rubber. It's not your time yet. Words like because, eventually getting there, Year 4, that bring everything together. So, today we are just going to focus on 4 conjunctions. Just 4. And we're going to really get ourselves confident with these so we can start using these in our writing. We have while, as a result, however, and as well as. Those are our 4 conjunctions we're going to be focusing on. And we need to just understand what these mean in a little bit more detail before we start using them in our writing. So, while. There's a lot of things here, but don't worry, it will make sense. This conjunction is very much like when. Okay, but there are a few subtle differences. Both conjunctions link things that happen at the same time. So, for instance, you might say, you should cover your nose when sneezing. You should cover your nose while sneezing. Both sentences make sense while just making that slightly bit more exciting. However, another fun conjunction there, love that one. When can be used over a longer period of time than while. So, for instance, I play football when I go to the park. That is indicating that is when you are at the park. When you get there, you'll be playing football. Well, I play football while I go to the park is suggesting that you're playing football as you're walking to the park, so a much more limited amount of time. That's the only difference. So while is over a short period of time, when can be over a longer, extended period of time, but they both link to the idea of doing something at the same time as something else. As a result, and I put brackets of because most of the time we use as a result of, but not all the time. This is very much like the conjunction because. So both conjunctions show the consequence of an action. I went to the shops because I needed food. Okay? Or you might say, I went to the shops as a result of needing food. Both are a consequence, a result of something happening. The only difference is the tense of the words following it. So as you can tell, the words after because are written in the past. You need that ed. However, words after as a result of in there are written in the present, the ing word as well. So look at them carefully, study. That's the ing there, it's the ed there. As a result of, or as a result, depending on the context, is another more exciting conjunction for because. It makes that writing seem a little bit more professional in some cases too. However, love this one. It's very much like but. It introduces a clause which is contrasting. So the opposite to what was just written. It was raining, but I still went for a walk. Most people probably wouldn't go for a walk in the rain. They would see that as a hazard, a reason not to go, but some people still do it because they're brave souls. however. That's it, I love this conjunction in year 4. You might want to say, it was raining, however, I still went for a walk. There was only one difference. However needs a comma before and after it, whereas but does not. You see, there's but doing its little thing there without commas, can support itself on its own. However, love that word, needs a comma either side of it to make sense. So however is a really good one in contrast to but. They're very similar, however sounds a lot more powerful. As well as, this conjunction is another way of saying and. So both conjunctions introduce things that are joined. I like running and cycling. Hopefully you do too. It's a really good activity for you. Or you might want to say, I like running as well as cycling. Both serve the function of and. And if you ever speak to me or Miss Harbert, we always like to say that and is banned, and is boring, let's get rid of and. I know I'm using it a lot now, that's okay, but you need to have a replacement, as well as it's a great replacement for and. So, can you get me pens and paper please? Or you might want to say, can you get me pens as well as paper please? Both serve the same function, as well as it's a great one to use. So let's give it a little tick, why not? So, with that in mind, let's have a little match the conjunction game. I've gone through all 4 of them now. Let's see if you can remember which one goes with which. Pause the video, draw the lines, tell me what they are. I'll see you in a couple of ticks. I thought I'd put the results there, but don't worry. As a result of that, we'll go through the results. So, while, hopefully you've told me it's the same as when. As well as, hopefully you've told me it's the same as and. As a result of, hopefully you've told me it's a result of, no it's not, because I hope you told me that. And of course, however, is another one for but. So you should hopefully match them up. Knowing them is going to be really important for when we move forward. Right, with that in mind, year 4, let's choose the correct exciting conjunction to link these 2 clauses. I like tennis. I prefer football. If you're not sure, think which one's going to work best. I like tennis when I prefer football. I like tennis and I prefer football. I like tennis but I prefer football. I like tennis because I prefer football. If you know that, you can then start thinking to yourself which conjunction is going to be good to place in there. Pause the video, write it down. I'll see you in a moment. Dun, dun, dun. Oh no, hello Mr. Ball, thinking you did that as well. Hopefully then, Mr. Ball, jumping the gun then, you put the word however. I love writing in these pens, year 4, but there we go. However, I like tennis, however, I prefer football will be the answer you want to write in there. Let's go for another one. You know the drill by now. Write it down, give it a go. I always wear my coat. I would say when I walk to school, so the conjunction I would use here, this very happy dog, is while. Hopefully you wrote that down. Best of luck if you have, best of luck. Well done if you have. Best of luck if you haven't, who knows. But let's move on to the next one too as well, before Mr. Ball confuses himself more. Right, here are my absolute best people ever. Bill and Oti, I love them. They're amazing, they're incredible. I could go and list a number of superlatives for them as well, but you need to write the conjunction in here. They were the best dancers, training really hard. Think about what that might be. I'll see you in a minute, pause that video. Hopefully, you know it's the word as a result of, because it's a consequence of them doing lots and lots of training. So they were the best dancers as a result of training really, really hard. And then, here we go, here's The Rock eating pizza, why not? So choose the correct exciting conjunction to link these clauses. Dwayne was incredibly lucky. He had pizza, blank pudding. What's going to go in there? Pause the video. You know what to do right now. I'll see you in a minute. Hopefully, you've all told me the conjunction that needs to go in here, as well as. Dwayne was incredibly lucky. He had pizza as well as pudding. I mean, to maintain a physique like that, you probably do need to have lots of food, children, but also lots of exercise. So that gives you that one. With that in mind then, it's over to you. You've got the warm, hot or spicy activities labelled as Tuesday English Activity PDF. Give them a go and I'll see you tomorrow.